Today I'm gonna show you a birthday card with a kinda autumnish theme and also a little bit of girly theme, and it looks like this. And this is kinda autumnish, how do you say that? Autumn styled card. It has some flowers on itself, and it has this girl that has a little hat with a cake on and a bow or a ribbon. I can never figure out which one it is. Maybe a ribbon, a bow. This is a bow. I don't know, a bow or a ribbon. And then there's a background with these Chinese symbols, and then there's a stamp with a butterfly, and there's also a butterfly, and you can see down here also some kind of butterfly. And it says Happy B-Day, as short for birthday. And it shimmers very much. It's really, really shiny, glittery, really, really cute. And you open it up like this, normally, and here you have some lines, and these lines are cut out from this paper here, so they are also very shiny, very glittery, and has also the same colors on themselves. And here we have the butterflies, and I just drew some lines that they are moving a little bit. And on the back side, nothing special, just my little signature made by Lena, which is my real name. And to make this card, it was really easy and fun. I really got surprised when I made this card. It didn't turn out the way I thought. It turned out a little bit different, but I like it. I started out with the distressing ink technique, with distress inks. I used a white paper with not the smooth silky side, the shiny side, but the matte side. The matte side is best. And you need some paper beneath. This is the paper that I used to have when I was testing. And you're just gonna lay down your paper, and you're gonna choose your colors. For this card I chose the orange color by Distress Ink. And what is it called? It's called dried Mongolian, dried something, but it's the orange one. They have really weird names, so I have a hard time remembering those, but the orange one. And then I used Vintage Photo, which is a brown one. Then I used tea dye. It's also brown, but lighter, more lighter than the Vintage Photo. And then I used Fired Brick as well for the flowers, but not for the background. So for the background I only had these three colors: tea dye, Vintage Photo, and the orange. And then for the flowers I used the red one. And you're just gonna go around in circular motions, and that's the way you get colors on them, different kinds of colors. Start with the lightest. So I started with the orange, and then I went with tea dye, and the last one I did was the brown, dark brown. And for the other one I used first orange, then red, then tea dye, and then the brown. And you will end up with a card that has color on themselves like this. And to get all these nice lovely speckles, can you see the speckles of gold here? Really love them. You will need some perfect pearls. These are also by Ranger. The distress inks are also by Ranger. And this is some dust. It's really dusty. Can you see that? It's really just dust. And maybe not dust. Dust is the thing you have on floors. This is more like powder. Yes. Powder, not dust. And you will need something to sprinkle it on. I use a cup that I have a little bit of water in, and then I either use a toothbrush, old one, or then I use a normal brush. It has something to be pretty hard, not so soft. And then you use water, you dip it in the water, you dip it in the jar, you mix it up a little bit with your finger, doing soft like that, and then you're just gonna sprinkle it on. You do this motion with your finger so it becomes drops on the paper, and that will make the colors bleed, because distress inks react with water in a way that it starts to bleed. You can see the bleeding here, sort of. The gold is pretty much showing where the bleeding is. But it's really cool technique. You can see here as well on the background. The background did the same thing. It started to bleed here. For this one I had not gold, this is Perfect Pearls Gold, but I had some kiwi, so it became a little bit of green. And you start to bleed, and that's really nice effect. And then you end up with a paper that has some bleeded color on itself. And then you're gonna stamp it. And with the background here for this one, I used a big stamp that is called Chinese Calligraphy, and the brand is All Night Media. So All Night Media, Chinese Calligraphy. And then you get this nice big block of Chinese symbols. And you're just gonna, I had this background here, so I just went over it a few times because it was pretty small. Well, it's big, but not enough for this paper, so I just had to stamp it a few times. And on top of that, I stamped, by the way, with the color Vintage Photo. Yes, Vintage Photo to make the colors match. I used with this one. And then I also used for the butterflies there, I used a stamp set by Inkadinka Do. These I don't really like because they are not see-through. Instead, they are these red rubbery. So okay, that's good quality. But it's really, really weird to use them because they are like, how should I say, they stick to you. They have some adhesive on themselves. I don't like that because I'm worried that in time the adhesive will stop working, so I will just have stamps that won't work for nothing, so I have to glue them on some wood block or something. So I happen to have these. These are the only stamps that I have that are like this. So you still need to use a clear acrylic block, although they are like this. So that's weird. I found that really weird and annoying. But I ordered them online, so I wasn't sure what I was getting. So sometimes ordering online is not as good as shopping them in real life because you're not sure what you get. But anyway, I got that stamp there. These are called by Inkadinka Do, and they are called, do they have a name? Little Critters. Little Critters, yes. And I used the butterfly. Yes, the butterfly, and I stamped it there also with Vintage Photo. And Vintage Photo, these other butterflies that you can't really see here, just to get a little bit more than just the Chinese symbols. Then I took this girl. This is a girl by Greeting Farm. I love Greeting Farm stamps. They are amazing, really cute. And where do I have my original? Here. This is the original, and I just stamped here, and you're just gonna colorate it with stamp on, by the way, watercolor paper. It's easier to colorate it if you have watercolor paper. And then I used my H2O pen and my small jars with different colors in it. For this girl I used Distress Ink Walnut Stain for the skirt and for the shoes and for the bow. The bow I used a lot of water, so the walnut stain became really, really soft. Then the hair I used some fired brick, mixed up with tea dye. And I think I used just tea dye for the cake, I'm not sure. Then I used broken china for the cake, the blue ones. And for her face and for her legs and arms, I used Tat Red Rose. And for her mouth and her cheeks, you can't really see the cheeks, but they are pink. And the mouth is also pink. And that is Spoon Sugar. So that's the colors that I used. And as you can see, she sparkles really nicely. And that effect is done with jelly rolls, Sakura gel pens with glitter inside. I used the silver one for her skirt and her shoes. And then for her hair, I used the orange one. So she has a little bit of orange there. And silver for the rest and orange for the hair. And then, as you can see, she has a little bit of white hair as well. That is just done with a white gel pen. So I put a little bit of a dot of white on her shoes, some white lines on her bow, a little bit of white decoration on the cupcake or cake in her head, on her head, and just a little white line on her skirt there. So that's how I did that, and then I cut it out with small scissors. The smaller the better, so really small scissors, cut it out, and then I glued it on with double-sided adhesive tape. Then this B-Day here, Happy Birthday, that is a stamp by Inkadinka Do, and it's called Happy Birthday, I think. No, it's called Birthday Fun. And I used the Happy Birthday there, Happy B-Day, and put it with a vintage photo on a piece of paper that was kinda beige, like this. Here you can see. And then I just drew with black gel pen. I drew around the bee, otherwise it would be kinda soft, like you can see there, kinda soft. So I drew around the bee and around the happy and around day, so it became a lot clearer. And then I punched it out with my Fiskars punch. This is 1-inch circle punch. I don't recommend this because they break really easily. So if you have other punches, use them. These squeezy punches, they break, so I don't really like them. But they're nice for now. I have broke a few, so I don't really recommend, but those are what I have. So 1 inch. And then, as you can see, I have another one underneath, and that one is bigger, and that is done with this All Night Media, same as the stamp, All Night Media. And this one is 1 1/4. And that was just white paper. And then I glued them on each other with some dimensional double-sided tape. I have this roll and I just cut out the pieces that I need. So they are popping out a little bit, as you can see there. And that's how I got the greeting. Then we have the flowers left. Oh, there, this is a long video. So for the flowers, that's how I made this card. I used the red one for that, and this and the gold for the glittery effect. And then I used, you can see these swirls. They are also vintage photo, the color, Distress ink, vintage photo. And the stamp set that I used was Inkadinka Do, and this is called Dot Flourishes. Dot Flourishes. So they are just some swirls here, and I used that one and I just stamped it on in different angles. So I ended up with this, and I really like this. I think this is beautiful. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make a card that turns out like this as well. So, but for now, I just used it for the flowers. And I punched out different kinds of flowers here, and I punched out them with my X-Cut plunge that looks like that. And then I have one of these. I don't think this one has a name and not a size, but they are just flower punches. And then I had this little cute one that I recently bought. It's a mini punch, sorry, not stamp, mini punch, and it says 1 centimeters. And this is by Paper Mania, Do Crafts Paper Mania. So it's really cute, mini stamp. And that's how I punched out the flowers from this paper that I made. I made the paper with the same technique, getting color, sprinkling on some water and stamping on. So that's how I got the flowers. And the flowers, the mini flowers, I took 3 with colors and 3 white ones. And then I just glued them here, a random pattern. And on top of those white ones, I put on some half pearls. Half pearls, if the camera would pick that up, yeah. And I usually buy my half pearls from stores that sells pearls for making clothes, because it's a lot cheaper. I got all these pearls, I think they are I don't know how many, but they were really cheap. I think they were just a few euros. So it's a lot cheaper to buy from, not from crafting store, but from stores that make clothes. And these are half pearls. You can even glue them on with an iron. You're supposed to put them on some fabric, and then you're supposed to put some iron on, those hot ironing tools to make flat clothes. And they will melt and glue themselves on. But for the glue, I use some Glossy Accent. That is a nice glue. It's also great for putting shine on stuff, or maybe like a glass effect or glossy effect, as the name, Glossy Accent. But I use it also as a glue. It's a great glue. So I glued the flowers on with this Glossy Accent, and I glued on the half pearls with Glossy Accent. And that's pretty much how I made the card. On the inside, I just stamped the butterfly there. Butterflies, 3 butterflies, which vintage photo, the color, so it became brown. Then I just cut out these stripes from the front page, because this paper here was just as big as the card, so it would have filled the whole card. So I just cut out the sides a little bit so it became smaller, and the sides I used to decorate the inside here. So nothing gets thrown away, everything is used. So here you can have your greeting, and there's just my little, oh, there I got some color there. That's not nice. I need to put something there, maybe a stamp of the flying thing. What is it called? Butterfly. Oh, there. How did that came there? Well, that's not nice. Okay, that was not meant to happen, but I will fix that. I will put a stamp there to hide that. But that is pretty much how you made the card. It didn't take so long. It took a little bit longer than normal, but I think it looks really nice, and I'm really happy with the results. And thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye. See ya.